Let's start with something simple, yet so profound: customer experience and engagement. Steve Jobs didn't just think of marketing as a way to push products onto people. No, he saw it as a way to enhance the customer experience. This is where most companies go wrong. They think marketing ends when the product is sold. But Jobs understood that marketing is about more than just the transaction. It's about building a relationship. He knew that by anticipating what customers wanted, sometimes before they even knew it themselves, he could create products that didn't just satisfy needs but inspired people. Think about it. When was the last time you bought an Apple product? Did you feel like you were just purchasing a gadget, or did you feel like you were part of something bigger? That's the magic of Jobs' marketing philosophy. He created a world where customers felt like they were joining a movement, not just buying a product. And that's the gold standard of engagement. People didn't just buy an iPhone, they bought into an idea, a community, a narrative. They became part of the Apple story.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more topics you love.
Now here's a question for you. Are you thinking about your customers this way? Are you considering how to go beyond just a sale and actually build a lifelong relationship with them? If not, you're missing the biggest opportunity to create lasting loyalty. Now let's shift gears and talk about simplicity in messaging. I want you to imagine a world where everyone is shouting, where every company is trying to be louder than the next. That's the world we live in today, right? There's so much noise. But Steve Jobs did something that most people thought was counterintuitive. He embraced simplicity. He didn't believe in bombarding customers with information. Instead, he believed in being crystal clear about what Apple stood for. Think about that for a second. Marketing at its core is not just about the product. It's about communicating values. So when you look at Apple's ads, they're simple, elegant, and to the point. They don't overwhelm you with endless features and tech specs. They tell you a story that sticks. And Jobs' idea was, if you can make your message simple enough, it cuts through the noise. It resonates. And people remember it. Here's a challenge for you. Is your message simple enough? When someone looks at your product or service, do they know immediately what you stand for? Or are you confusing them with too much information? Simplicity isn't just about fewer words. It's about clarity. Can you distill your message down to its purest form? Because when you do, that's when your marketing truly starts to connect. Next, let's talk about design as a marketing tool. This is where Steve Jobs completely flipped the script on what marketing could be. For most companies, design was something you thought about after the product was made. But for Jobs, design wasn't just about making things look pretty. It was about how things worked. He famously said, "Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works." That's a game changer. Because for Apple, the product itself became the marketing. You didn't need flashy billboards or over-the-top campaigns. The product, through its design and functionality, told you everything you needed to know about the brand. Think about the iPhone or the MacBook. These products are so elegantly designed that they practically market themselves. Their seamless integration of form and function is a testament to the brand's commitment to excellence. People didn't just buy these products for their utility. They bought them because they symbolize something more: creativity, innovation, and perfection. And here's another deep question for you. How are you using design in your marketing? Are you thinking about it as an afterthought, or are you making it an integral part of your brand story? Jobs showed us that when you combine design with functionality, your product becomes its own advertisement. And that's the kind of marketing that sticks with people. All right, now that we've covered how customer engagement, simplicity, and design played a pivotal role in Steve Jobs' marketing philosophy, let's move on to something equally as important: the power of storytelling. Jobs understood something that many brands miss. People don't connect with data, they connect with stories. Now think about it. How many times have you heard a bunch of statistics and immediately forgotten them? But when someone tells you a compelling story, you remember it. Stories create an emotional connection. They make you feel something. Jobs was a master storyteller. Every time he launched a new product, it wasn't just a presentation, it was an event. He would craft a narrative that didn't just tell you why the product was great, but why you needed it in your life. He often framed his stories around a problem and then presented Apple's product as the solution. And this wasn't just a marketing tactic. It was a way to generate excitement and anticipation. People would tune into his keynotes like they were watching the premiere of a blockbuster movie. That's the power of storytelling. Here's something to think about. What story are you telling with your brand? Are you just listing features, or are you creating a narrative that makes people feel something? Jobs knew that when you tell a great story, people don't just buy your product, they buy into your vision. Then there's innovation as a continuous process. One of the things that set Steve Jobs apart was his relentless focus on innovation. He wasn't content with just making a great product once. He believed that innovation was something you had to nurture continuously. In his mind, the only way to stay ahead in a competitive market was to keep pushing the boundaries, to keep finding new ways to solve problems. And this wasn't just about creating new products. It was about fostering a culture of creativity and improvement within Apple itself. Apple's groundbreaking products like the iPod, the iPhone, and the iPad weren't just technological marvels. They redefined entire industries. And the reason Apple could do this was that Jobs instilled a mindset of constant innovation. He believed that if you're not continually evolving, you're falling behind. This is why Apple has remained a leader in technology for so long. They never stopped innovating. Now, here's a deep question for you. Are you fostering a culture of innovation in your own business or life? Are you constantly looking for ways to improve, or are you resting on your past successes? Jobs taught us that innovation isn't a one-time thing. It's a continuous process, and it's the key to staying relevant in a fast-paced world. We've already covered so much about Steve Jobs' marketing philosophy, but there's still more to uncover. Now let's talk about community building. Jobs didn't just want customers, he wanted believers. He understood that the best brands don't just sell products, they create tribes. People want to feel like they're part of something bigger than themselves. And Jobs was a genius at creating this sense of belonging around Apple's brand. He invited people to join a community that shared values, innovation, simplicity, and a passion for creativity. When you have a community, your customers become your biggest advocates. They don't just buy from you, they spread the word. They bring in new people. And that's how Apple created such an enduring brand loyalty. People didn't just buy Apple products because they were good. They bought them because they felt like they were part of the Apple family. So here's something to reflect on. Are you building a community around your brand? Are you creating a space where your customers feel valued and connected? Jobs knew that when people feel like they belong, they'll stick with you through thick and thin. Finally, let's touch on consistent quality and anticipation. One of the reasons Apple's product launches were so successful was that Jobs knew how to build anticipation. He kept things secret, which made every launch feel like an event. People were excited, they were curious, and they couldn't wait to see what Apple had up its sleeve. But here's the thing, he didn't just generate hype for the sake of it. He followed through with products that lived up to the excitement. The quality was always there. And that's key. If you build anticipation but don't deliver quality, you lose trust. And that, my friends, is the essence of Steve Jobs' marketing genius.